41 seconds of logos! Movie reminds you of the fun you had playing Super Mario Bros., then quickly reminds you that this time someone else is in the driver's seat responsible for your fun, and you're along for the horrible ride.
Long time ago, the Earth was ruled by dinosaurs.
This video game adaptation requires a history dating back to the dinosaurs. Also, narration. Also, this shitty opening, created by what looks to be an Amiga, or some such computer you stubbed your toe on in an attic somewhere, is better than this whole movie, in case you confused it for Brooklyn 51 million years ago. Also, luckily, so few people actually went to see this movie, they aren't talked out of watching Jurassic Park 2 weeks later.
A giant meteorite struck the Earth.
Or horrible CGI, or not quite sure what killed the dinosaurs yet.
What if the impact of that meteorite created a parallel dimension?
Super Mario Bros. Asks the thought-provoking question, what if the meteorite we thought killed the dinosaurs is actually the basis for the stupidest movie scenario possible? Using the Mohs scale, I'm going to take a guess and say that this power crystal could be scratched by talc. It takes an insane amount of time for this nun to realize there's a huge freaking basket on the doorstep. Also, nun looks down and sees, not a baby. I mean, this has to basically be a boombox and a blanket to her, right? And yet, what the hell? Let's take in this lost and lonely piece of electrical equipment. After running just fine on the sidewalks a minute ago, this mystery chick is running through a busy intersection to test the limits of death and my willingness to watch the movie. Nuns decide, yeah, let's open this boombox. Was he waiting for her in this exact spot of the tunnel? Also, I have an idea. I bet I can push this wooden beam, it'll cause a major rock collapse, and I can escape. Nuns don't immediately renounce their religion when they see a human baby hatch from an egg. It required 2 directors to make this movie, just in case you confused it with Brooklyn, well, now. Who, in any profession and of any storied lineage, keeps a trophy rack of toilet plungers on the wall? I don't care if you're the world's greatest plumber, that's f***ing gross. Why not wrenches?
Oh, are you spending money on this stuff?
Mario asks Luigi a question that could very well be a question to the audience.
Well, Mario, you just gotta believe.
I do believe.
Mario waits until they're out of the apartment, in the car, and driving down the street to continue this conversation.
Turn left here.
Luigi will now tell Mario that he has a feeling that this is the faster way to go, and he ends up being right. But my question is, if you're supposed to turn left, in what scenario do you get to your destination faster by turning right?
Faster when I tell you, huh?
It's a miracle we made it alive.
Yeah, I know. That crazy right turn Luigi took was a never-ending spiral of adventure.
Capelli. They beat us to it again.
What, did the Riverfront Cafe call 2 plumbers on this job? Did they set up a competition for who could get there the fastest? And this happens often?
Who's in charge of this hole?
I'm the boss here.
You were definitely at no possible distance to hear that question.
How long are you going to be digging up these bones?
As long as our court order lasts, Mr. Scapelli.
Did she just read that off a cue card? This hotly contested archaeological construction site is big enough to draw the local NYC news, but not big enough for anyone of consequence to hear this mobster openly threaten this archaeologist.
Keep everyone digging till I get back.
The guy has gone from being annoyed about Daisy to taking mental pictures of her naked. And is it just me, or does this seem like the longest creeper take ever recorded in the history of movies? Main character's vehicle breaks down and smokes to show how horrible their lives are cliché. The movie will go on to suggest these henchmen have failed to bring back the princess 4 times already. My question is, why were the most worthless henchmen in existence even sent on this mission once, let alone 5 times? Moronic guys carrying a window to block the villain cliché is doubly moronic when you see how much time he has to avoid it. Okay, so this is 1993 and the cell phone craze hadn't hit yet. But is this really the first freaking payphone she could find? Also, Samantha Mathis isn't my 90s girlfriend in this scene.
Please, step into the van.
Daisy doesn't understand that please step in the van are usually the last words you hear before you step in a van. Also, did he just fix the van by pouring water into the hood?
Dinner?
Sure.
Tonight.
Tonight?
Does Mario think she can't hear him telling Luigi what to say?
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Be here.
Here? At the police and construction barricade? Go home later, get dolled up, and then hoof it back here. Cool? What happened to those wacky bad guys that were chasing her? I realized she got a lift in the plumbing van, but even if they didn't see that, did they give up completely?
A meteorite hit here a long time ago. And, well, we think it could be what destroyed all the dinosaurs.
Or just created the Ninja Turtles. Or Meteor Man.
Wow, there were dinosaurs in Brooklyn?
Relax, Luigi. There used to be Dodgers here, too.
Jokes like this are why we usually don't do bad comedies. In this case, what exactly is the joke? Maybe if the dinosaurs relocated to LA, you'd have a joke there.
Bring a nice bathing suit, though, like something a little strapless so you don't get a tan line, and you probably want to take off that rock.
Tan Salon Lady assumes that Daisy will want to wear the crystal at her tanning session, just so we can get into some exposition about the crystal around her neck.
It's the only thing I have from when I was found.
Huh?
Oh, I was abandoned.
Casual exposition is f***ing casual.
You mean you don't know who your mother and your father are neither?
Bonding by shared abandonment. Also, did Mario know their parents? Or are they saying that they aren't real brothers? Did the parents die? Did they go out for cigarettes and never return? This is never explained.
Well, what do you think it's gonna do tonight?
Well, hopefully sex. That is, if Mario is willing to help Luigi get the condom on.
If you're not doing anything later tonight, I would like to walk you home.
But I live in Newark.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not the girl. That's it. She's wearing a disguise. I can swat a mile away.
Movie wastes everyone's time by making the henchman dumber than any henchman who ever henched.
If you just want to end this right now, I would understand.
Characters give an open invitation to the audience. Also, why would you have any reason to think he isn't super into you? And what? You're walking home from a double date dinner. You have no ties. No one's made any promises here. Jesus Christ, man, what is the point of walking your date to the door if you don't watch her actually go inside? Until she closes the door, a is still on, man. She's a paleontologist or archaeologist, and he's a plumber. They're not teenagers. This flirtation by way of a foot race is one of the stupider things in this movie, and that's saying something. Important archaeological dig left completely unlocked, and is wasting tons of electricity by leaving all the lights on every night.
We don't even have any security here. That's what I was calling about on the phone today. See, I can't get the university to give me any extra money.
Sure, but a padlock, maybe? Asshole henchman working for Scapelli actually decided to wear Scapelli clothing during the sabotage.
I know exactly what to do! Mario, Scapelli's flooding the site!
In fact, in the amount of time it took us to run here, it's probably totally flooded. But I'm going to assume that the flooding stops when you don't look at it, so we still have time.
He's been trying to force us out ever since we got here. It's sabotage!
This didn't occur to me to tell you until we got here.
Out here!
You mean where all the water is spraying? That's crazy talk.
You've gotten it wrong 5 times.
Seriously, if these guys are so stupid to believe every girl they see is Daisy, then how are they even close? How did they even know to come down here?
Daisy? Daisy, where are you?
Apparently you guys got knocked out with one blow from a flashlight. So how did you get up in time to hear Daisy screaming down the tunnel?
That's the echo.
How do you know?
I've been listening to pipes all my life.
Well, it's a good thing Daisy didn't fall in love with a stockbroker then. Why even bother with a CGI when it's going to look like this? Well, good thing during whatever this is, she had enough power to jump out just long enough for Luigi to snag this power crystal. What the hell is this though? It's another dimension, but apparently allows brief but unsuccessful escapes. John Leguizamo shatters into a million pieces going into another dimension, but unfortunately lives to make the pest. Now that we see Mario falling through this dimension, I really gotta ask now, how the f did Daisy manage to make it back in order to give Luigi the crystal and show them where this portal was? Remember, she's also being forced by the bad guys to go through this thing, so her miraculous semi-escape is even more miraculous. Seriously, the people who did the special effects on this movie gave up and said, well, maybe they're so bad they're funny. I don't know, but I'll be damned if they unkidnap me and make me go back to high school. Tunnel in this alternate dimension has oddly helpful shadows, just in case you happen to be looking for the girl you fell in love with that night. Koopa's underworld steals alternate future Biff's timeline from Back to the Future 2. No! Jesus, these guys take Daisy everywhere she can be found at a quick glance. Movie that we can only assume is for 3-year-olds manages to sneak in a porno title joke. You know, for the adults in the audience who didn't sneak off to go see Cliffhanger.
Where you going? Hey!
Mystery asshole.
65 million years. We've been exiled here after the meteorite struck.
You know, for the audience members who missed the beginning of the movie because they accidentally walked into Made in America.
I need the rock and the Princess Daisy.
A plan which, after so many years, you've surely heard so many times you're tired of it. But again, for the people who decided to poke their head into this movie who were accidentally watching Sliver a second time.
And I'll finally be able to merge our world with theirs and get rid of the mammals.
Why do you need to merge the dimensions? Can't you all just go through that warp near the dig site and kill all the humans or whatever you want to do without going through the dimensional merge? Discount Mars Underground City from Total Recall. How is it that these dinosaur people evolved into regular-ass people? There appears to be no difference at all to humans down here. And that makes the whole thing with the dumb henchman not being able to distinguish one woman from another even more curious. Mannequin stunt woman is mannequin. How did anyone think this was the way to do a Mario movie? Yeah, you can't have a guy running on platforms and hopping on mushrooms and call it a movie. Well, I guess that's the plot of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, but still, I think you start there and brainstorm. The first thing I would do is tackle how Mario knows where to hit those secret power-up blocks. It would be epic, I tell you.
You know the law, Toad! Hey!
Way to shoehorn a beloved Mario character into your movie, guys. And you did have to tell us who this was, because he in no way looks like Toad.
I'm getting arrested for being a plumber!
That's Plummus.
He's looking for this princess. I guess none of us here fit the bill.
These women either seem to be okay with being kidnapped, or the actresses realize what a stupid movie this is. Why do they need 4 guys to take pictures? It's because of this extremely long and pointless they think it's a firing range joke, isn't it? How are these 2 plumbers so easily determined to be the 2 plumbers Koopa asked for? Do they not have plumbers in this universe, and that's why they stood out? Because if so, how does anyone here even know what a plumber is or looks like? Okay, so Mario extends his hand to Koopa, who doesn't shake it because he's a big germaphobe. But then Koopa himself extends his hand to Mario like it never happened. How is Koopa able to pretend to be a lawyer? I mean, they are from Earth, sure, but his picture is all over the place. And why even bother? What does he gain by pretending to be a lawyer? It's also hard to believe they got Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper into this movie. Leguizamo, I understand, he was just starting out. But Hoskins and Hopper must have really needed to pay for a summer home or something.
What single-cell organism did you evolve from?
Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Lizard King. Thank you very much.
T-Rex was single-celled? God damn, I think this movie just broke science.
Your de-evolution will be a living nightmare if you don't tell me where that meteorite piece is.
Koopa assumes the Mario brothers know what the rock is. Can he not simply say the meteorite piece Daisy was wearing around her neck, like he did to his dumbass goons earlier?
Loyal, lethal,
And 2 feet taller for some reason. Now, maybe the de-evolution machine can change a creature's height. But how did the uniform also grow to accommodate Toad's new body? They're able to do this without much resistance at all. And the staged fighting looks like first-year dental students started an amateur improv group during study break. Also, that punch from Luigi. Let's run that back again, can we? This is easily my favorite thing about this movie. Luigi knows everything about the de-evolving machine.
I'll kill that plumber!
Just one?
Can't believe you can do that. Comes from sitting on my butt all day playing video games, that's why.
Doing what? What can he do? He turned on a computer and started typing. Does it help start the car? Hell if we know. Took him forever to figure out how to start this car, but he automatically knows which one of the 4 levers goes up and which one goes down in order to put the car in drive. The pursuing cops both shoot at the Mario Brothers car between them, and nothing of consequence happens. Then Mario slams on the brakes, and the 2 cops shooting easily explode each other in seconds. Mario jerks the wheel to the right, but the car goes to the left. Is the steering inverted on these vehicles? Or is he doing that maneuver from Cars? Go right to go left. Bungee Fungus Ex Machina.
Bring me the prince. You blew it. And never cleaned up.
This guy hasn't even met the princess yet, despite her incredible importance to the plot. Does this machine only deal in extremes? Why advanced, and no average or slightly smarter than a baguette? You could have used that on these henchmen earlier, too.
Nathan, do you know what the square root of 26,481 is?
What are you talking about?
191.
It is not.
You do not return with the plumbers and the rock. I shall personally kill you.
Isn't the rock all that matters? Are you hellbent on a revenge kick now? Yoshi looks dumb. All bad guys are rapists.
Take her away.
That's it? You just came in here and gave no information at all, did a couple of creepy things, and now it's time for her to go? But why? Also, nice of the Goomba troops to put Toad's harmonica back on his neck after his de-evolution, so we'd always be able to tell which Goomba was him. Koopa is a dick to Yoshi. What am I doing with my life that I just said that sentence? So, did the evolution machine simply improve their vocabulary? What a goddamn ripoff. Also, seriously, aside from all the names, is anything about this movie like the video game series that inspired it?
Where's Daisy, butt breath?
Butt breath. Also, does it matter where Daisy is? She's in that city you just escaped with all the cops looking for you. Do you simply want to go back? Do you have a plan?
The rock is a piece of a special meteorite which was chipped off upon impact 65 million years ago.
It was, amazingly, the only piece of the meteorite that chipped off.
Yes, you see, once this rock is reinserted into the meteorite, our 2 dimensions will reunite and we will become one.
It's actually some crazy bullshit some guy wrote as a sex poem, which he crumpled and threw in the wastebasket. But then his roommate came along, unraveled it, and made it the basis for this movie.
Why didn't they just come through before like you clowns?
Are you fool?
It's been sealed off for years until someone on your side blasted it open again.
Yes, but it is open now, right? So who cares if he didn't do it before? Why isn't he doing it now?
Guess we're both prisoners here, huh?
Character says this just to taunt the audience. What? Why does a completely separate universe and world that evolved from dinosaurs have a Statue of Liberty? It's hard enough to buy that they evolved into something humanoid, but a Statue of Liberty? The fucking fuck?
Mom, what are you waiting for?
Was the plunger even necessary to this plan?
Look for the red spikes.
Big Bertha's the bouncer though, right? Wouldn't you have run into her on your way in here? Discount Thriller Dance.
Leave this to me. No woman can resist the charm of a Mario.
Is she not going to remember stealing the rock from you like yesterday? Bouncer at the club is allowed to dance on the main floor like a customer. I think she might be a terrible bouncer, guys. Music suddenly changes to slow song shortly after main character's decision to fast dance with someone they would normally not slow dance with cliché. Mario tries to reacquire the rock with undetected sexual assault. Big Bertha continues to not detect Mario's attempts to remove her necklace. I mean, does your skin not feel? Also, Mario's in a bright yellow suit. You really can't find him? Everybody Walk the Dinosaur is an especially on-the-nose soundtrack choice, I think. And that's not a compliment.
One hook, scramble, and right fake, okay?
That's the plan? The f*** does that even mean? Why is the dance floor made of grated metal? Is it just for this stupid moment of necklace tension?
Here, Pudgy Buns.
Why is she helping him? Because he fake seduced her and stole the rock back she stole from him? Thankfully, at the 1 hour, 2 minute mark, movie finally finds an excuse for Mario and Luigi to jump high. Phew!
What a way to go to Koopa's Tower!
How in the f*** do you know this garbage truck is going to Koopa's Tower? Why would a truck full of garbage go anywhere but a dumping facility?
I got 2 words for you. Impossible.
And I've got 2 words for you. I hate you, you fucking dip. And here's the sludge gulper, just throwing trash in a pile out in public for no reason other than allowing Mario and Luigi to get farther in their quest.
Treat your tools like a friend. Keep them by you.
Except he already told you a long time ago that he lost his tools, so this particular plumber's lesson is just you being a dickhead. Mario finds perfect disguises that both he and Luigi can wear in the first locker he opens. So here's the origin story of Mario and Luigi, but that leaves out poor Donkey Kong. Biggest elevators ever. Luigi is plotting an escape by making the Goombas dance, which I admit is highly original, but it also shows how unsatisfying it is when your villains have the brain power of lice. Goddamn, she's been petting this thing for forever.
I think yes. I'd love to get you out of here!
Why all the subterfuge if you were planning on killing her anyway? You could have stabbed her already. Scene of Goomba soldiers all dancing in the elevator isn't stupid enough, so filmmakers decided to have them spontaneously pair off for a couples dance. For virtually no reason at all, the Goombas allow Iggy and Spike to simply go free. Fire extinguisher is handy just in case one of your friends is on fire. And besides, does Koopa's Tower seem like the kind of place where they follow fire codes or care about safety? Also, what happened to the other Goombas? They set Toad on fire and then peaced out. And they show up out of nowhere after every possible good scenario for the protagonist could happen. Like they were frozen in time or some shit.
You're not gonna jump? Come on, cause somebody's gotta do it. We don't got no other choice, right?
You guys have no clue where you need to go in this tower, so risking your life for this jump is stupid as shit. Also, are you just assuming those dancing Goombas are still in the elevator where you left them? Why didn't you stay on top of the elevator and wait until they left? Why not go back? There are so many other choices. Luigi jumps, gets miraculously saved by a random hook, doesn't detect it, tells Mario about it and have him jump too, but instead of dying, Mario hits a fungus trampoline and lives. Do I have that about right? Jesus f***ing Christ, this movie is aggressively stupid.
Luigi! Mario, can you hear me?
Intercom speaker just happens to be in a place that is total bullshit.
Jeez.
What the f*** has this asshole been doing?
Just trying to communicate.
So let me pull it out of the living organism and see if it can still help.
But Mario, don't you see? It's been trying to help us all along.
How did Nintendo ever let this piece of Mario movie get made, huh? Yeah, sure, just run anywhere, guys. It's not like you need to be careful or anything. Also, Luigi and Daisy decide to run out of their hiding spot just as Koopa and his guards are walking by.
Look, the point is we're freezing here.
What the f*** kind of prison cell is this?
Hi, Mario!
God damn it!
Excellent. Release Lena.
But why? Why would a flamethrower burst a door open like a battering ram? Potential princess holding cell turns out to have a racing tube to freedom built in. Righteous. Are that Goomba's toes flaming from the friction between his feet and the icy, snow-covered tube? Seriously, did I miss the take shrooms now instructions earlier in this film? Also, how did these assholes catch up? They were way behind. Whatever the f this is that makes this possible. Also, Goombas could easily go around it just like they saw Mario do, but decide, nah, whatever mattress. Also, does this air duct lead out into the town? Is there a reason for that shit? Mattress just happens to fly to the bad guys, who, for reasons entirely unknown, are walking outside into the city right now.
Looks like I win.
Can you just use your de-evolver gun already and end this? Yeah, sure, just set that rocket boot to attack mode. It'll do the rest. Comeuppance I don't care about.
Who are you?
Luigi Mario. What, you got a problem with that?
I don't got a problem.
What the goddamn piece of shit fever dream of a movie am I watching? Sorry, I just shot my television. Can someone tell me how this thing ends?
The universe is mine!
Now, bear in mind, only in retrospect does letting Lena go earlier seem dumb at all. Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.
And the rock will merge our two dimensions!
So, have I caught you up on the plot of this movie yet? Good, let's go stop evil then. Seeing the meteorite like this, I wonder how just the smallest fragment of it got dislodged from its body, and how anyone knew that it was missing, or that it would merge dimensions if anyone put it back. Bombs that require winding. Also, even if this thing goes nuclear when it explodes, it's walking slowly enough to be my vote for most useless autonomous bomb in movie history. What the f was that?
You've got to get through and tell everybody!
Go! I'll lead you to Brooklyn. Tell them about the invasion and the Goombas.
Whoever believes you is probably homeless, but we'll worry about that later.
Yeah, she sure makes an impression.
Puns!
We're merging.
Why isn't everything else around them disintegrating right now? And why aren't Daisy and Luigi being turned into soda bubbles right now?
Look!
Oh, that is some weirdly prescient, creepy bullshit there. Also, you mean you actually got this far with an actual policeman with that crazy-ass story? Luckily, Koopa's Tower emerges into the real world just in time to be hard-proof. The location of Koopa and Mario's merge makes no sense whatsoever. Why are they not in the tower still? Why is no one else from that world appearing out of nowhere? And what the hell happened to Iggy and Spike in this movie? Seeing as how the merge simply allowed Koopa to show up on Earth, I still can't figure out why the portal everyone else was using didn't suffice.
Give me that Devo gun!
Devo gun turns humans into apes instead of making them whip it. Even if it is Scapelli, everyone is laughing, and it's not horrified that a human being just got turned into a monkey.
Trust the fungus.
How did he know whispering to the mushroom would cause it to grow and protect him? I guess I'll just have to use that portal now. Everyone in the city was still here for some reason. I guess this merging thing knows which characters to send to a new place and which ones not. This f***ing thing still hasn't exploded yet. It's a good thing they let Toad have a harmonica when they changed him, and just happens to still be a good guy. And Luigi taught the Goombas how to dance, or else this plot development might have seemed silly. This lady was here waiting to throw her boots to Luigi just in case he showed up at a random time and just happened to need them. This asshole bomb also has Reeboks on. Why didn't they just make this a cartoon, for God's sake? Let's steal that evolution machine upstairs and make a fortune while making the world a better place, shall we? Or are we going to forget about that amazing scientific breakthrough during this happy ending? Alternate universe citizens wait all of 1 minute before whitewashing Koopa's reign. Nobody did anything to turn this fungus back into a human. And holy shit, they dragged Lance Henriksen into this, didn't they? They dragged everyone into this, didn't they?
It's solid.
But why? Oh yes, this long-separated piece of meteorite actually acts as an activator and controller for the mystical portal between our two worlds. I totally forgot. No, wait, I meant, what the hell? Dinosaur goodbye waves.
I'd call them the Super Mario Brothers.
Haha, no you wouldn't. Also, roll credits.
What's wrong?
You're never gonna believe this.
Obviously awful movie thought it was going to get a sequel.
I believe it.
You do?
I believe.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I must say, we have a very exciting proposal.
A video game based on your many adventures.
Movie shoehorns a stupid-ass end credit scene with Iggy and Spike that absolutely nobody saw in the pre-Marvel Studios era. Hell, I doubt even movie theater ushers saw this because they were able to clean the auditorium so quickly.
Good catch, call Mario. I should try out for the Yankees.
Dragon's Eggs, Daenerys, and the Shadowlands beyond a shy.
We bred raptors.
He's been trying to force us out ever since we got here.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You can dance.
I don't lie. You can't.
What am I doing?
Teasing my dick. You got potential, though. I could teach you.
Don't you f***ing look at me.
Mommy. Mommy. Mommy loves you. Baby wants to fuck her.
Sum of the square roots of any two sides of an isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining side.
How can I ever repay you?
For starters, don't ever kiss me again.